moral kamu ya. So kalau kamu tengok dekat sini, wait, do I have to click myself? Okay, baik. Kalau kamu tak ada buku teks digital ini, kalau kamu tak ada, kamu boleh masukkan dalam dalam apa tu yang dibagi tadi tu, scan code, then you boleh download the book. Okay, the new syllabus kita ada 16 nilai universal. This one buku digital you boleh scan nanti, kalau you boleh tak nak beli buku pun tak apa, tapi buku diberi percuma ya. Okay, let's go to the next one, the 16 nilai. Okay. 16 nilai universal yang kamu akan belajar ialah, okay, next please. Okay, formulanya ialah 8K. Okay, 8K, 3H, 4B dan 1RPT. Actually quite easy to memorize. Okay, kalau kamu tengok dekat sini. Yang ini nilai kepercayaan, nilai K8 yang masih ada, nilai lama ialah kepercayaan kepada Tuhan. Definisinya masih lagi sama, yakin wujudnya Tuhan dan mematuhi segala suruhannya berdasarkan pegangan agama masing-masing dan prinsip rukun negara. So nilai kerajinan pun masih ada daripada silibus lama, nilai kerajinan masih ada. Nah, kejujuran ini dulu amanah. Okay, dulu kita ada nilai amanah ditukarkan dengan kejujuran. Okay, kalau silibus lama keberanian tak ada, this is a new nilai keberanian. Kerjasama kita ada saling membantu dan bekerjasama, now it becomes kerjasama. Kebebasan, freedom, okay, nilai kita ada kebebasan bersuara dan kebebasan beragama yang silibus lama. Kesederhanaan masih kekal. So di sini kita ada 8 nilai, okay, 8 nilai di dalam K. Ada actually teknik untuk menghafal ada. Kalau mereka boleh load gambar tu nanti kita tunjukkan ya macam mana. Okay, H, 3 nilai, harga diri. Okay, harga diri menjaga maruah, memastikan kita tidak melakukan perbuatan yang menjatuhkan maruah. Yang ini hormat, respect, nilai hormat. Hemat tinggi juga daripada nilai lama, beradab sopan dan berbudi pekerti, mulia dalam pergaulan seharian. So, 8 nilai K, 3 nilai H. B kita ada 4, bertanggungjawab. Okay, sanggup memikul dan melaksanakan tugas serta kewajipan sendiri. Berdikari, berdikari ialah kebolehan membuat sesuatu tanpa bergantung kepada orang lain. Ini nilai yang ditambah ya, baik hati. Baik hati is good hearted. And thank you, berterima kasih, saying thank you to people. So 4B, kamu boleh guna ini sebagai formula ya, K8H3, B4 dan 1R, 1P, 1T. R rational, rational masih lagi ada daripada nilai lama. Semua nilai patriotisme daripada silibus dulu, cinta akan negara, sanggup berkorban untuk negara, taat setia kepada raja dan negara dijadikan satu, patriotisme dan toleransi. Now, nilai yang langsung tak ada daripada previous one is number 1, tak ada nilai kekeluargaan. Okay, kalau bidang 1 perkembangan diri ada, kekeluargaan tak diletakkan di sini. Last time we had 4 nilai for kekeluargaan, di sini tak ada. So kalau kamu tengok nilai kekeluargaan, kalau soalan keluar, you akan guna nilai seperti kerajinan, hormat, khemah tinggi, bertanggungjawab, berterima kasih, toleransi. Okay, so you see how they make things easier for you guys. Okay, alam sekitar pun tak disentuh langsung. Previously we had 4 nilai alam sekitar, now not even 1. So apa berlaku bila ada soalan-soalan yang berkaitan dengan alam sekitar? What nilai you can use? Okay, maybe you can use nilai bertanggungjawab. Okay, bertanggungjawab, nilai kerajinan untuk tanam pokok-pokok dan sebagainya, kerjasama mungkin untuk membersihkan kawasan dan sebagainya, kesederhanaan bila kita tak buang sampah dan sebagainya. Okay, maybe kepercayaan kepada Tuhan. Actually, these 18 nilai ni kami memang risaulah sebab pelajar tak dibiasakan untuk menggunakan dan bila soalan nilai ditanya, ya bertanggungjawab memang bolehlah untuk semua. As usual, rational dan bertanggungjawab boleh digunakan untuk hampir semua soalan. Okay, tapi kamu jangan risau. Sekarang ini kalau kita akan lihat format peperiksaan yang dijanjikan ya, tapi soalan tak banyak. Okey, contoh soalan yang diberikan tak banyak. Format peperiksaan sudah pun keluar ya. Sudah keluar dan saya rasa sebelum kamu bercuti, guru-guru kamu sepatutnya dah berikan kamu input ya tentang contoh-contoh soalan yang akan kamu hadapi pada tahun hadapan. Okey, next slide please. Baik, yang inilah cara menghafal 18 nilai universal lah. Boleh tak video tu download? Kalau tak boleh tak apalah. Okay, boleh ke? Okay, kalau tak boleh load, it's okay. We go to the next slide lah. Okay, baik. Nanti mereka akan hantar dekat kamu ya slide itu, video tu. Baik, yang ini bidang pengajaran ya berkaitan tingkatan 4 dan 5. You see ya, jangan terkejut kenapa ada 5.0, 6.0, 7.0. You remember form 1, form 2, form 3. 3 tahun ini you belajar 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Okay, and that time you like don't know lah what you are learning. You go to class, you don't know what you're doing because tak ada apa-apa input tentang form 4 and form 5. So guru-guru yang mengajar kamu fokusnya kepada 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. And then bila you datang ke tingkatan 4, you akan belajar insan bermoral, jati diri moral, moral dan kenegaraan, partial part of it, and in form 5 is another partial. So this is the topic. Dan kami dimaklumkan bahawa peperiksaan kamu yang SPM yang kamu akan ambil ini fokusnya di sini. They might not focus in 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. They might just focus here ni. So you nampak sikit saja kan? Okay, insan bermoral. Kita akan lihat satu persatu ya apa dia kandungan dalam insan bermoral. Before that, insan bermoral means human, good human who has moral values. Jangan fikir what is this. Sometimes kamu takut dengan perkataan-perkataan ini. Alright, tujuan pendidikan moral ialah supaya kamu menjadi manusia yang bermoral, beretika, beragama, beradab sopan. So insan bermoral, they want you to become a good human being. Now, jati diri moral is strengthening of the self. Okay, bagaimana kamu membina menjadi seorang individu yang mempunyai ciri-ciri traits, good traits. Okay, some people no matter what you do, you tell they won't break the law. Okay, they don't. No matter what, dalam keadaan apa pun mereka tak akan melanggar peraturan. For example, I got a daughter who will never drive. Kalau speed dia 90, she will drive below 90. Kalau 110, she will drive below that. She will never go even 1 kilometer lebih daripada itu. Okay, and even midnight, 2 pagi, 3 pagi also traffic light merah dia akan berhenti dan ikut. She really follows the rule. Many, I mean, we should have a lot of people like this lah. Tapi macam saya pun kadang-kadang kalau dah pukul 2 pagi lampu isyarat merah tak ada orang, saya pun drive. You see or not? Tapi ini jati diri moral. Okay, no matter what your friend pujuk you tak hisap rokok. Ini jati diri. Jati diri means jati diri dibina daripada kecil from your parents upbringing. Sometimes they say from the womb. Bila mak kamu mengandung, already have this jati diri moral. That means jati diri is not something you can shake. Okay, just since we have some time, just sharing a simple story on jati diri moral. Okay, there's a pot of hot water, boiling water, and you check which one is your jati diri. So whether you are a coffee bean, whether you are a carrot, or you are an egg. Okay, three personality. Okay, if you put egg is soft. Okay, telur naturally bila you pecahkan dia soft. Tapi you bila masukkan telur di dalam air panas, telur itu menjadi keras. So entering that hot water change you from a soft person, very humble person to become a hardcore hard person. Okay, maybe the values all mungkin berkurangan dan sebagainya. The other one carrot. Carrot is hard. Dari segi natural dia keras, tapi bila masuk di dalam air panas, after some time the carrot becomes soggy, lembut, lembik. Okay, so jati diri tak kekal. But coffee bean, when you put the coffee bean inside the hot water, it will boil, it will keluarkan bau yang wangi, semerbak. The water will be a very nice smell coffee, but it will still come out as a coffee bean. So walaupun dia masuk dalam air panas tu dan dia menggelegak, dia menjadikan persekitaran dia that coffee, that water become like them, menjadi coffee, dan bila you keluar coffee itu masih kekal. See, this is what we call jati diri. Jati diri means no matter what happen, you cannot change orang itu punya pegangan. Okay, normally we have positive jati diri. Okay, for example, since young we teach our kids to love our flag, jalur gemilang. Okay, how many of you actually love your jalur gemilang so much that you cannot see if the jalur gemilang jatuh ke somebody do something, you're so angry. How many of you actually gantung jalur gemilang sepanjang bulan kemerdekaan? You see, ini semua jati diri. So I think younger time, our parents, they build this jati diri very strongly. Okay. In fact, when the room is empty, when the student leave the money, we don't take the money because we feel not other people see, but we see the God is seeing what we are doing. So ini jati diri, clear? Huh? Okay. So moral, you know already, jati diri already. Now moral dan kenegaraan. This is patriotisme. Okay, when you are bermoral, you perlu ada perasaan cinta akan negara. That means you bangga, you sayang kepada negara, you will do anything to the country, for the country, to the country. Okay, nampak tak? So anak-anak zaman sekarang ni kurang sikit ya. Saya tak tahulah how berpatriotik kamu ya. So kalau kita tak pasti your patriotism level, but I think my generation the patriotism still very strong. That's why I say I still hang 5 bendera. My house got 5 people, husband, me and my 3 kids. So we hang the bendera, 5 bendera for the whole month of bulan kemerdekaan. Okay, and we actually in the morning before leaving to school, we stand and we sing Negaraku, and then only we leave. So you might find it a bit funny, but that's what we do. The love. We don't feel shy to show the love. Okay, so ini adalah moral dan kenegaraan. Next slide please. Turun lagi ini nombor 1. Actually, I think I can handle, right? Okay, right. All right, I will do it. Thank you. Okay, now insan bermoral. Thank you. I will handle this myself. Okay, insan bermoral. Insan bermoral ini we have 4 topics and I'm very sure, I'm sure Kashwin still remember, we use this word norma masyarakat, and we were like, what the hell is this norma masyarakat? Why is it so difficult? What question they are going to ask? And then we have individu berkepribadian mulia, prinsip keadilan dan keprihatinan dalam membuat keputusan. Okay, penggunaan teknologi maklumat dan komunikasi secara beretika. In Form 4, you actually already finished this. I think my school by Form 4 March, we finished this already. Okay, norma masyarakat is in English norms, kebiasaan. Kebiasaan masyarakat berbeza daripada satu masyarakat dari negara lain daripada negara kita. In Malaysia, norma masyarakat ialah kita tak pakai kasut di dalam rumah. That is a norma. Okay, bila kita jumpa orang, kita memberi salam. We say hello, how are you, assalamualaikum, salam and all that. Ini adalah norma masyarakat. Bila somebody bawa tong untuk kutipan derma, kita derma. Ini norma masyarakat. We don't question. Why are they begging? Is this good or not? Okay, norma masyarakat. Bila kita jumpa orang tua, kita beri mereka tempat duduk dalam bas dan sebagainya. Norma, you know what we normally do. If somebody get into the train and you see they are old and you are sitting, naturally you should get up and give place to them to sit. Ini norma. Tapi you notice or not, norma ini sudah kurang ya sekarang ini ya. I always witness some young children and young people sitting down. Someone put the bag all tak bagi orang tua duduk. I'm also old. I'm also 56. I'm not young, but I will get up and give the place to old people to sit. Okay, so ini norma. And then we know when we talk, we shouldn't be shouting, screaming. You see how you behave in the public. The more you see old people there, the louder you talk. You make a big issue like apa tu? Seolah-olah kamu nak beritahu orang, we are here, we conquer the place. So ini norma masyarakat. So antara norma masyarakat yang kita akan belajar, I really wish you all can continue the classes with Translite because I will be conducting this and give you in detail. Norma masyarakat number 1 is saling memaafkan. I'm just giving you some of the contoh. Saling memaafkan is when people say sorry and they meant it, we accept their apology and we give them a second chance or even a third chance, okay? Like simple thing lah, dia terlanggar, you say sorry. Orang tu cakap sorry, you say okay. Contohnya tadi, saya baru pergi shopping. As I was carrying 2 heavy bags, I terlanggar the one car park there, dia punya cermin lah dan cermin dia ke belakang sikit. So what I did, saya betulkan balik and I said sorry. But the fellow was shouting, I don't know what he's shouting lah. So I told my husband, I don't have time to layan this guy. I already apologize. I already said sorry. So up to him lah. So saling memaafkan. Okay. Prihatin. If you see a dog jatuh di dalam longkang, okay, atau you nampak kucing tersangkut dekat pokok tak boleh turun, naturally we will help. See, ini norma. We say norma masyarakat. When your friend fall down, norma masyarakat ialah you say, oh my God, and you help. But weirdly, kamu punya norma masyarakat ialah you laugh. Saya kata itulah, norma ni sudah berubah. Okay, so norma masyarakat ialah the habitual, apa yang kita buat bila kita berhadapan dengan sesuatu situasi. Okay, yang berikutnya individu berperibadi mulia. Berperibadi mulia means ada beberapa kategori when we say mulia. That number one is dari segi pertuturan. Okay, bila you bercakap dengan sopan santun. Okay, I do not know why we learn this habit of shouting, you know. When your parents call your name, Kashwin, you say, yes ma, yes pa, not what you want. Okay, that is not the way we answer individu jika you berperibadi mulia. Okay, I think when I was growing up, if my father call Kala, I just say, enang ke pa? If I say, enang, finish lah, adalah barang flying dekat rumah ya. So kita diajar seperti itu. So when we get married also, when you are with your husband, with your husband's family also, you bring this tunduk bila bercakap, dengar bila orang bercakap sebelum jawab. Ini peribadi mulia. Okay, other than that, peribadi mulia is helping others. Kita membantu, bila orang perlukan bantuan, kita volunteer, kita tolong. Nothing is wrong in that. Okay, ini yang kedua. Yang ketiga, prinsip keadilan dan keprihatinan. This prinsip keadilan dan keprihatinan when you have to make decision. Okay, when you have to make decision. For example, we talk about euthanasia. Euthanasia ialah jika seorang itu terlalu sakit dan tak boleh hidup lama, kita boleh buat keputusan di setengah negara dia benarkan orang ini diberi ubat untuk mati, meninggal dunia if the family agree and all that, because for example they are becoming a vegetable for so long and no point 7-8 years no improvement, only a little bit of movement. So if dari segi prinsip keadilan, okay, prinsip keadilan is wrong. You cannot take someone's life. Only God can take life. Yes or not? It's not fair. We say, oh, it's not fair lah. It's not adil lah. Maybe the fellow want to live. But dari segi keprihatinan, okay, how long are you going to keep this person suffering even though dia tak rasa the suffering? The family is suffering because keeping that person, and maybe the person himself, like cancer patient, they cannot tahan. Dia sendiri tanya, can you please put me to sleep because I tak boleh tahan dengan kesakitan ini. So banyak situasi yang kamu diberi soalan ini. Dia akan tanya, berikan jawapan anda berdasarkan prinsip keadilan. Okay, and then they can also ask you, bagaimanakah jawapan anda dari segi prinsip keprihatinan, normally in decision making. Okay, please remember this. I hope so far you can understand clearly. All the blurring for the past year, please forget it. I'm giving you very slowly, step by step. Okay, for insan bermoral, this is what you are learning. Okay, and suddenly they put in this ICT. ICT. Why ICT comes under insan bermoral? Because ICT, kita menggunakan ICT sebagai seorang manusia. Okay, dogs don't use Facebook, cats don't use Instagram. Okay, human being we use. When we use internet, ICT, Telegram, whatsoever, everything lah, Weibo and all that, kita yang handle apa yang kita paparkan dalam saluran ini. Whether you're doing a WhatsApp chat or Telegram chat, you decide what you are putting, especially in the Facebook. Okay, these youngsters like to use or use words like FUCK, okay, in a comment. What the, right. So for them, among the friends, it's okay lah. Among friends, we always use that. But for old people who are in it, for example, if you are my son, and if my son is using that word, and other people see, they say, kenapa anak Puan Kala use this 4-letter word? So it reflects on me as a parent. Nampak tak? So this is why we masukkan penggunaan teknologi maklumat dan komunikasi beretika. Ethical, the word is etika. How you use teknologi ini secara beretika. Okay, some people use short forms. Short forms is okay, but you don't put like WTF. Okay, WTF is not nice. Okay, and using pictures, ambil gambar-gambar, doctorate gambar itu. Okay, gambar orang lain, lepas tu masukkan muka orang tu, jadikan dia bogel ke, I mean nowadays saya kurang lah tengok. Dulu all the Indian ladies, film stars, Aishwarya Rai and all that, all they put a gambar bogel and then put their picture, they doctorate so well, nampak macam dia punya muka. Okay, it's very embarrassing. I mean, movie people, they don't mind lah, whatever you do, they just keep quiet. Tetapi berita-berita palsu seperti I shared with my student, how many times they kill Mr. Bean? Tiap-tiap kali, oh, Rowan Atkinson died in an accident. And then after some time they say, just for fun. Sometimes they do April Fool jokes. Okay, how many times they kill Rajinikanth? Okay, very famous people. Nowadays during COVID, many tokoh-tokoh yang meninggal dunia. Okay, for example, the Indians, we know SP Balasubramanian, very famous. When he died, everybody mourned for it. So they keep lying. 1 week before he died, they put there, oh, dead already. So condolence lah and all that. The masalahnya di sinilah, bila orang letakkan maklumat ini, immediately don't share. Okay, immediately we cannot share. Okay, when you get some information, okay, about 20 years ago, when Indonesia had a big issue, pergaduhan dan sebagainya, they put a message saying that Chinese are going to whack the Indians and Malays in Klang. So Indians don't go to Klang. Okay, so ini adalah propaganda yang digunakan secara tidak beretika. Understand or not? Using the technology maklumat secara tidak beretika. That's why maklumat-maklumat seperti sekarang, PKP, we wait for the real announcement, then only we listen. Jangan dengar orang lain hantar. Sebab macam-macam berita salah boleh keluar. So you clear of this. So why we have to be insan bermoral? Because we have to follow norma masyarakat dan kita perlu menggunakan nilai-nilai murni yang ada kepada kita. Sometimes it's so difficult to carry yourself to that level. Okay, you feel like, I'm not like this, but why am I supposed to do that? Just think of it this way. If you're going for a job interview, you have to gunakan kepribadian mulia, no matter how provocative that person is. The person might be provoking you, bad things and all that, but you kawal. I still remember my daughter going for JPA scholarship. The fellows asked a lot of things to provoke. Why you think you deserve this? Mana cukup? Orang lain lebih pandai and all that. Here you control. Kalau you tak ada peribadi mulia, you memang akan cakap, you want to give lah, don't give lah. See or not? This is how we talk at home. Okay, so we have to control that. Many teachers in school also, we really have to control ourselves here. You marah-marah pun, one day marah, the next day go in and then be a normal teacher. No point of carrying grudges and all that. Okay, so kita akan buat satu soalan nanti untuk prinsip keadilan dan keprihatinan. And then yang ini penggunaan teknologi maklumat we'll be discussing further. Okay, let's go to the next one. Next topic. All right, jati diri moral. I told you jati diri is built by family since you are in your mom's womb. Your mom talk nice things. Okay, when your mom is pregnant, normally, I mean when you get married, you're pregnant, they will tell you don't do bad things. When you're pregnant, for Chinese, right? Chinese always say when your mother is pregnant, you tak boleh shift rumah, betul ke? Yes, Sinlin, tak boleh pindah rumah kan? And tak boleh alihkan perabot. Yes or not? Chinese believe in that. Somebody say maybe, I think so. You find out, Sinlin. Go and ask your mother or your grandmother. Memang tak boleh. You tak boleh pindah rumah dan tak boleh pindahkan perabot, the katil and all that, tak boleh. They say it's sway, pantang. But actually, you know what's the reason? When you're pregnant, you go and carry all these heavy things, you might have keguguran, miscarriage. I think that's one of the reason lah. Okay, but they make it a taboo, so orang takut. Okay, Indians. Okay, wait, Malays first. Malays kalau perempuan itu mengandung, suami dia tak boleh sembelih binatang, tak boleh berburu and all that. I think Chinese also got. You tak boleh pergi buru ataupun pukul monyet ke, pukul kucing ke, anjing ke, because they say the animal punya soul akan masuk dalam baby kamu tu dan the baby will have that perangai. Well, scientifically it's not proven, but I'm not sure. I'm scared, so I follow. I don't want anything to happen to my kids when I'm pregnant. So I really jaga. Okay. And then, so you see, all this pantang larang, integrity individu. Integrity means good values. Integrity means you punya maruah. Here will be harga diri, maruah. How's your integrity as an individual? Okay. If at home people say, ayah, you always lie lah. Okay, you are chopped. You selalu tipu lah. You tipu lah. So, you know the boy who cried wolf, you know the story? He'll be joking and telling a wolf, wolf, two time, three time, wolf, wolf. When really the wolf came, nobody come to help and he dies. Okay, so integrity. If you sometimes in your class you have students, teachers will tell, ini memang bagus, dia tak tipu. If the teacher asks, did I give you this answer? The children will tell the truth. The teacher will not listen to yang selalu tipu. They will tell, ini saya tak boleh percaya lah. Integrity means, if at home something went wrong, your parents come back, brothers and sisters at home, dia tanya kamu, dia tahu, you lying lah. Josiah, I cannot trust you, you lie. So ask somebody, maybe your brother or sister, who they trust and ask. Then they tell, yes, it is true what he's telling. So ini integrity. Sama juga dekat sekolah. Okay, di sekolah juga integrity. Yes or not? Teacher punya integrity. Okay, students chop a teacher. Ayah ini selalu ponteng tak masuk kelas. Teachers also, ayah, this fellow always like that lah, ponteng never enter class. So kalau orang dah chop kita macam itu, when other people ask, they will tell, cikgu tu memang tak selalu jarang masuk kelas lah cikgu. Dia datang pun dia buat kerja sendiri. Ini integrity in any level. Okay, look at our pemimpin-pemimpin sekarang. Okay, a lot of talking going on. I do not know whether you follow on Facebook and all that. People are talking so badly about everybody. And one of our pemimpin yang telah menyalahgunakan wang rakyat, wang rakyat dan digulingkan tetapi nak kembali sebagai pemimpin. Okay, what is this? Study moral, no time to follow. Really? Seriously, I believe you already. Okay. Okay, good. No problem. Joking, Sinlin. Okay, so when people say this name only, ayo, how to trust this guy? Already curi rakyat punya duit. Sekarang kalau datang balik, dia akan curi lagi duit. Okay, we don't want to mention names. I'm just giving you some example. Okay, integrity keluarga. Integrity keluarga is your family punya maruah diri, harga diri. In your kejiranan, taman kejiranan kamu, people will have an impression about your family. If they talk about, that one, Puan Kala's daughter, that family, okay, the children are very good. Normally kalau dia nak cari pengantin ke apa, they can ask you. Maybe they say, that Ramu, that family, the father a drug addict lah, masuk penjara. The mother also curi barang dekat supermarket ke apa-apa. Or they say, wah, the whole family mencarut. So ini juga integrity keluarga, okay? Oh, that family, my goodness, they talk so politely, they are very helpful. Nampak tak? So ini ialah jati diri moral kepada diri individu dan juga keluarga. Okay? Like we say, we always have this saying, mak bangsa. Africans are very loud mouth, they are very noisy. Okay, kita selalu fikir macam itu. Okay? Makan time, Chinese are very noisy. People say like that. Makan time very sopan. Malays, they eat with only 3 fingers. Okay, ini macam seolah-olah is a chop already. Chop already. Macam di Malaysia, dulu-dulu lah bila kita, not now lah, dulu-dulu people will say, kalau China menipu lah, bila berniaga menipu. India suka tipu. Suka minum arak, okay? Kalau India jatuh, they say mabuk arak. So this is like a chop given. So tak baik lah. So kita ubah integrity ni. I'm not labeling anybody, I'm just giving you some example. Okay, and here you see berperi kemanusiaan untuk kesejahteraan masyarakat. Okay, berperi kemanusiaan, humanitarian. You have to be humane. sometimes animals are more humane than human. Okay, you see all the videos they show sometimes in Facebook. A dog got hit. Another dog come and pull this hit dog to the side there, wait so long. Okay, so sometimes you say, oh my God, how come orang manusia yang bergerak di kawasan itu tak bantu pun, tetapi kenapa binatang ini yang pergi bantu? Okay, if somebody is hitting a boy or a girl or a kid, people look only, but the dog go and bark and chase the fellow who's beating. Ini sometimes saya pun tak faham, berperi kemanusiaan ke berperi kebinatangan. Okay, but they expect us to be berperi kemanusiaan supaya masyarakat kita sejahtera, kesejahteraan. Sejahtera means we live well. Okay, people know, oh, my car break, I think about 2 months ago, my eldest girl, when she was driving to work to hospital, her car punctured, tire punctured. She called me, Mommy, my car punctured. I need to go to hospital fast. So I bring another car with my daughter. We thought, tire only lah, can change. Tengok-tengok anak saya yang kuat tu pun tak boleh tukar tayar. So we were just standing there, don't know what to do. Suddenly one good Samaritan, a guy from Semenyih, he just came. And then first was a Malay guy jogging, tapi dia pun tak boleh buka. I think karat already. And then suddenly another Indian man, he said, I saw you when I was going to send my daughter to Bangi. Now I'm coming back, both of you are still standing. Imagine I'm standing in a nightie, my daughter in shorts. And he came and he's so strong, he actually helped us to change the tire. Nampak tak? Ini yang kita kata berperi kemanusiaan untuk kesejahteraan masyarakat. So when you do good to others, God will send. His name is Michael. So we call him Michael, the angel, Michael. Okay. So you see or not? Tuhan akan membantu bila kita membantu orang lain. You nampak tak apa yang kamu nampak daripada belajar moral? Don't fikir, why we belajar this moral stupid subject. Never say that. Basic to all your success is moral. Okay, whenever you go out of the school system, you need moral values in your life. Okay, be it kejujuran ke, amanah ke, rational thinking. If you forget your physics punya chemistry ataupun physics punya formula, you can still survive. But you forget mematuhi peraturan dan sebagainya, you akan masuk penjara. Okay, so this is on jati diri, moral. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so far okay, no problem, kids. Okay, putlah something there, teacher. I understand, no problem. Okay, thank you. Next one. All right. Yang ini moral dan kenegaraan, and you are going to hate this bidang. Okay, saya rasa next year you will be getting this, moral dan kenegaraan. Okay, hak dan tanggungjawab sebagai warga negara berdasarkan perlembagaan negara. I think Kashwin's class you studied this already. Berdasarkan perlembagaan negara, apa hak kita sebagai warga negara? You must know your rights, your responsibility according to the Akta Perlembagaan Negara. Okay, so saya pernah share dengan kelas saya. I hope your teachers also shared. Dalam Perlembagaan Malaysia, setiap orang bebas menganut agama masing-masing walaupun agama Islam adalah agama rasmi. Okey, ini Malaysia ya. Dan kita bebas menggunakan apa sahaja bahasa untuk berkomunikasi walaupun untuk komunikasi rasmi kita perlu menggunakan bahasa Melayu atau bahasa Inggeris. Okey? Dan kita mempunyai tanggungjawab, hak kita untuk mengundi tidak boleh dinafikan. Okay, nobody can come and tell you, you Indian, you cannot undi because your grandfather come from India. No such thing. Selagi you dilahirkan di negara ini, you bergelar warga negara Malaysia, bila berumur sebelum 21 tahun you mendaftar, you boleh mengundi. So people cannot say. Okay, same also. Perempuan dengan lelaki, they cannot say, oh perempuan tak boleh bawa kapal terbang. Siapa cakap? Sekarang ramai pilot perempuan. Okay. Baik, hak kamu untuk mendapat pendidikan. Okay? Pendidikan. Nobody can deny your right to get pendidikan. Okay, pendidikan tidak wajib ialah 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. This one your parents send you to kindergarten, preschool. I really pity children who parents force them to go to school 4 years, 5 years. 6 is okay lah. 3, 4 duduk main-main dekat rumah sajalah. Mengapa nak hantar dekat kalau daycare tu orang jaga tak apa. Ini suruh baca buku lah, belajar muzik lah. Sometimes I don't know how many of you went through that lah. I don't force my children like that. For me, children has to go through normal kids. I still remember 6 years, 7 years old. I don't even know ABC all. So what? I become smart also. I went to university. Yes or not? So why you're forcing us? Whatever they cannot do, they force us to do. You imagine 3 years, 4 years old play lah with ball and everything. Ini play with that box yang ada tulis A for apple, D for ball. Okay? I don't believe in that. I hope you all also won't do that. Study lah, tapi memang ada limit. Okay, hak untuk mendapat pendidikan. Hak untuk mendapat kemudahan asas. Okay, hak untuk mendapat kemudahan asas. Everybody mesti mendapat kemudahan kesihatan. Okay, warga negara. Okay, all these. So, kalau kamu join me for the next classes, I'll be explaining to you see each pink color here can be explained by 2 or 3 lessons. Okay, so I'm just giving you some input on what we are going to face the coming years. Okay, this is a little bit heavy. Go to the next one. Perpaduan dalam masyarakat. You breathe already. Okay. You say like that. Okay, perpaduan dalam masyarakat. Apa usaha-usaha yang dijalankan oleh number one, kerajaan. What kerajaan do supaya rakyat hidup bersatu padu. Number two, what kementerian-kementerian buat. Okay, number three, apa sekolah buat. Apa universiti buat. Apa taman-taman perumahan, we have this housing board and all that. Apa aktiviti yang dibuat supaya wujud perpaduan dalam masyarakat. Now as it is, Malaysia, we don't have great issues. We don't have any problem. Chinese cannot sit with Indian cannot sit with Malay, bergaduh and all that. Their fight is not racist fight. They fight for simple other things lah. Okay, maybe dia cakap saya, he say me, I say you. Tapi basically kita memang ada perpaduan dalam masyarakat. We can go to supermarket, meet friend, different race. We can say hi, hello. Kita buat jamuan, kita buat majlis perkahwinan. We invite people from different races. Okay, perpaduan memang ada. Of course, I mean you all will tell lah, oh teacher, how come they have sekolah agama, why we don't have sekolah agama? Ask lah your temple ke, you punya tokong ke, buatlah kelas agama untuk kamu. Kenapa kamu nak masuk campur dalam urusan, the school is giving this. Now you see, sekolah ada sediakan kelas bahasa POL, Tamil and Chinese. But why the student don't want to study? You come from Chinese school, when they have POL classes, you say you don't want to join. Chinese class, you don't want to join. Itu salah kamu. In my own school, I think 60 over students who took Tamil for UPSR, when we want to form a class, not even 8, and then you blame it on the school. Kalau ada 15 sekolah boleh buka sekolah kelas bahasa Tamil dan bahasa Cina. My school is one good example. We have bahasa Cina, we have bahasa Tamil, we have teachers. Okay. Sometimes kita terlalu emotional. We are so emotional. We follow what people say. That people say like that, so it's true lah. It's not true. Okay, listen to me. I'm living in this country and I've given all the privileges. Even though as young, from younger time, I come from a poor family, but I've been given all the privileges because I prove to them that I'm smart. Okay, I'm capable. Jadi you pun buktikanlah diri kamu. Letakkanlah diri kamu dalam kumpulan yang pandai, semua straight A+, so you will definitely get what we want. Ini keputusan tak bagus, betul nak bandingkan, jangan ya. So perpaduan dalam masyarakat kita di Malaysia jaranglah kita dengar apa pergaduhan antara Melayu dengan Cina. Ini yang gangster-gangster kita jangan peduli ya. We are talking about normal human being who think normally. Okay, kita tak pernah tengok kalau dekat supermarket Melayu jumpa dengan Cina bergaduh bertumbuk, no such thing. Okay, next, pengurusan perbelanjaan secara beretika. I think Kashwin, we have done this topic also ya. Bagaimana kita menguruskan perbelanjaan secara beretika? Pengurusan perbelanjaan comes under nilai bertanggung jawab dan kesederhanaan. Okay, kita ada beberapa jenis perbelanjaan. Nombor satu ialah perbelanjaan keperluan. Yang kedua ialah perbelanjaan pertimbangan. Okay. Anybody knows what is the difference between perbelanjaan keperluan dan perbelanjaan pertimbangan? Anybody? Somebody is typing. Okay. Perbelanjaan keperluan, you have to buy because if you don't buy, maybe you don't have food, you will die and all those things lah. Itu perbelanjaan keperluan. Perbelanjaan pertimbangan ialah you have extra money, want to melancong ke dan sebagainya, baru kita guna. Kalau tak ada, tak apa. Okay, so you want to know more, you join me for the other classes. Okay, next, kedaulatan negara, tanggungjawab bersama. Okay, kedaulatan means sovereignty. Okay, I hope I'm saying the English word correctly. Kedaulatan means, okay, I want to tell you something. No matter who rule the country, this is our country. We don't care about the ruler. Okay, example, your school. No matter who is the pengetua, who's the pentadbir, who's the teacher, but that is your school. You must have love for your school and you must do something, everything to take care of your name. Sama juga, ini negara kita, negara saya Malaysia. Don't go around talking bad about my country lah, this and that. Jangan ya. Tolong jangan bercakap buruk tentang negara kita, jaga nama baik negara kita. So these are the three main things we are going to focus on. Okay, little bit on the format peperiksaan ya. Okay, format peperiksaan. I'm very sure your school teachers sudah share. Sepatutnya sudah share. Okay, if belum share, I'm very sorry. Maybe cikgu kamu pun tak dapat maklumat. Okay, for your SPM 2021, that is next year, November, ada semua ujian bertulis. Good news, no project. The previous Form 5 project they have to do and send, but pitiful lah, the marks are not added. It's just buat saja, cukup syarat. Okay, now jenis item, number 1 is subjective response terhad. Apa ni, nota, you have to ask the Translife whether they are going to give you the nota or not. Later maybe they will give. I think they will give. Okay, subjective response terhad means the answers are fixed already. That means dia tanya soalan, you kena jawab. Contohnya soalan, sebutkan nama-nama negara ASEAN. Okay, you tak boleh letak negara ASEAN, Rusia lah, Amerika, tak boleh. So itu adalah soalan subjective response terhad. For example, apa lagi contoh respon terhad? Okay, namakan peraturan dalam akta kerja, for example. Okay, subjective respon terbuka ialah open-ended. You can give answers according to your pemahaman. So respon ini kalau betul dia akan dapat markah ya. Kita tengok lagi, teruskan. Okay, baik. Bahagian A ada 50 markah. Normally we think this is like a structure, guided structure. Kan kita ada struktur yang 10 markah. So they will give you 5 soalan. So you have to answer all. So these 50 marks, these 5 soalan, they can ask huraikan nilai, berikan sebab, berikan pendapat, sebutkan kepentingan, faktor, punca and all that. So ini adalah soalan-soalan yang control lah. That means jawab soalan ni diambil daripada buku teks. I was told that the questions will be taken from the buku teks. So don't ignore your buku teks, tolong ya. And then bahagian B ialah 10 markah, dia beri 2 soalan esei. 2 soalan esei tapi you pilih satu sahaja. That means you can choose between the 2 essay and answer only one. So the essay when you answer you get 10 marks. So 50 plus 10 is 60. So let's look at the next one. Okay. What's happening here? What did I do? Okay, right. Alright, kamu tengok dekat sini. Kenapa dia besar macam ni? Macam mana nak besarkan balik? Okay, I hope you can see. Baik, dekat sini bahagian C, 40 markah, they give you 2 essay. 2 essay ni you kena jawab, satu essay ada 2 soalan. Macam mana kita nak? Okay. Baik. Ingat, bahagian ni yang susah ya. So you akan ada 2 soalan, okay? 2 soalan, 2 essay. Tapi setiap essay itu ada 2 part. That means ada soalan A 10 markah, another question 10 markah. Don't worry, I'm going to share with you. You jangan risau, I'm going to share you the contoh soalan. Okay, so jumlah markah ialah 100. Okay, jumlah markah ialah 100. Okay, tempoh ujian 2 jam 30 minit. So bahagian A struktur 50 markah. Bahagian B 1 essay Okay, markah yang you beri, masa yang diberi ialah 50. Bahagian B you spend 20 minutes only. But bahagian C because you got 4, that means 1 essay times 2, 4, 80 minit. Okay, dan soalan akan ditanya daripada buku teks kamu ya, buku teks tingkatan 4 dan juga 5. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now this is the part you like, contoh soalan. Okay, contoh soalan ya. Bahagian A soalan struktur contohnya. Baik, saya ambil satu contoh yang saya buat sendiri. Sebab ini dalam buku teks kamu ada ya. Okey, soalan ini ialah bahagian A. Congkak. Do you know congkak? Congkak is that one they use the batu and then they play I see, you can see the picture. And catur Cina. Cina kita tak boleh letak mahjong. Mahjong is judi. So I put there catur Cina. Yang ini kabadi. I think the Indians all know kabadi. So you ask your Indian friend what is kabadi. They go around tarik orang dan sebagainya. Apa ni, what form? Yuzi. I don't understand what form. I'm just sharing you for form 4 and form 5. So I'm just taking this as a sample. I give you one contoh soalan ya. Okay, gambar menunjukkan permainan tradisional pelbagai masyarakat Malaysia. Remember, this is contoh soalan. I just want to show you how the contoh soalan is. Okay. Okay, tengok soalan ni. Baik. Jelaskan perasaan anda apabila melihat keunikan permainan tradisional rakyat Malaysia seperti ini. Okay, Chinese got different, Malays got different, Indian got different, but now we play all the games. Kita orang India main catur Cina, orang Melayu main kabadi, itu semua biasa. So dia tanya jelaskan perasaan kamu. Okay, kita tengok apa perasaan dekat sini. Okay, so bila you menjawab, you jawab saya rasa gembira. Okay, atau saya rasa bangga, atau saya rasa bersyukur, you get 1 mark. So just now was 2 marks ya, your huraian. Why do you feel gembira or you feel bangga, you're bersyukur. So you just write one of the perasaan and the jawapan can be maybe kerana mempunyai tradisi yang unik mengikut bangsa. Every bangsa got tradisi yang unik. Okay. Or maybe your alasan is warisan ini masih kekal dan tidak pupus. Okay, I'm also very happy some permainan masih kekal. I'm a kabadi teacher in school, so I'm very happy for this. And then menjadi kebanggaan sebagai identiti negara atau bangsa. So you just have to give any one of the answer. So J1 perasaan 1 markah, huraian 1 markah because 2 marks. Then you say, teacher, what if I give extra? No problem. Moral memang you boleh bagi extra. You want to give 2 or 3? No problem. Okay. Pastikan you ada masa. Okay. Let's look at the second question. Second question also 2 marks. Apakah nilai universal? How many nilai universal we learn in form 4 and form 5? 18. Yes or not? So you belajar 18 nilai ni. Apakah nilai universal yang harus diamalkan oleh rakyat untuk menghormati keunikan setiap kaum di Malaysia? So ruang menjawab dia bagi 1 Roman, 2 Roman. So you senaraikan nilai sahaja seperti ini. Okay, I have given here can be nilai kesederhanaan, okay, nilai hormat, kesederhanaan because when you play, okay, right, hormat you respect, toleransi dan rasional because nilai lain tak berapa sesuai. So you give any mana-mana satu nilai ni you bagi dekat sini, so you bagi 2. Okay, so sudah 4 markah. Let's see the next marks. Bincangkan satu contoh amalan tradisi yang masih diamalkan dalam keluarga anda, darling. Keluarga anda follow your name. If you are a Chinese, Chinese. If you are a Indian, Indian. Okay, janganlah pula you pergi ambil tradisi orang Melayu because let's say cikgu saya mak bapak kahwin campur, Cina kahwin India, that's not a problem. But if you Cina kahwin Melayu, you are not going to take moral, you're going to take agama Islam. You understand what I'm telling or not? Okay, nilai kerjasama maybe can, nilai kerjasama maybe can. Okay, friend okay, right. So you bagi satu contoh amalan dan berikan kepentingan amalan tersebut. So satu contoh and 2 kepentingan. Okay, for example, satu contoh amalan tradisi yang masih diamalkan dalam keluarga Cina. Saya letak dekat sini. If you're Chinese, orang Cina, you have amalan makan besar. Sebelum Chinese New Year, that morning, that evening, you have makan besar. Yes or not? So you put there makan besar. Why is it important? Apa kepentingan makan besar ini? Okay, boleh merapatkan hubungan antara anggota keluarga, anak-anak diajar untuk menghormati. Okay, pesta tanglong. Okay, apa kepentingan dia? Feng Shui. Okay, ini kita ikut Feng Shui. Orang Cina banyak Feng Shui ya. Ini tak boleh, itu tak boleh. Sekarang India pun ikut Feng Shui ya. Okay, tradisi perkahwinan. Chinese punya tradisi perkahwinan. Okay, tea ceremony. Zinlin, ini bukan gotong royong, bukan tradisi ya. Gotong royong bukan tradisi, tak boleh ya. Okay, right. Bakar mercun and all that boleh. Okay, India pakai potu. Okay, potu, you know that one, the red thing we wear here. Okay, and then tradisi perkahwinan. Indian, I think the tradisi we follow betul-betul lah zaman dulu. Sadangga, when a girl attain age first time period, we have to go through this upacara sadangga. Chinese memang tak ada ini. So Indians, you go and ask your parents. If your sister, younger sister or your kakak dulu dapat first time period, they have this sadangga. Kalau Sabah Sarawak pun boleh beri jawapan ikut tradisi keluarga anda. Ya, okay. Let's see the huraian here. Okay, yang huraian tadi dia tanya apa kepentingan. Kepentingan amalan ini mendidik disiplin dalam kalangan anggota keluarga. For example, bila makan besar, orang tua duduk di meja utama, yang muda duduk di meja yang kecil. So, mendisiplinkan. Okay, dan tradisi ini boleh diwarisi secara turun-temurun oleh anggota keluarga. That's the important lah. It becomes your pride. Okay, when Indians we wear sari or we wear Punjab, we wear sari and all that, we feel proud. If anybody say, I Indian, I don't wear sari, you tell it very slowly, malu, you segan. But when you wear sari, you feel, wow, my child can wear sari, so you're proud. Okay, menunjukkan identiti dan keunikan khusus pelbagai kaum. Okay, so ini jawapan dia kalau kamu tengok. Let's look at the next question. Okay, now the balance mark. 3. Tadi 2, 2, 3, 3. Ini main peranan, role play. Andaikan anda Menteri Kebudayaan, apakah strategi yang anda lakukan? Strategi here, don't worry lah, what you do lah, apa yang you buat untuk mengekalkan keunikan pelbagai budaya di Malaysia. So 3 markah, kamu tengok jawapan yang saya letak dekat sini, ni contoh. Okay, saya mewajibkan aktiviti kebudayaan di peringkat sekolah dan universiti. That's why we have Kelab Kebudayaan Cina, Kelab Kebudayaan India, Kelab Kebudayaan Melayu, Kelab Tarian dan sebagainya. So di sekolah you wajibkan kepada pelajar. Universiti also we have. Okay, universiti also we have aktiviti kebudayaan seperti ini. Mengadakan kempen kebudayaan mengikut bulan. I suggest, okay, Januari Kebudayaan Melayu, Februari Kebudayaan Cina, March Kebudayaan India. So maybe like that. Then Sabah, Sarawak. Dan mengadakan pameran kebudayaan dan kesenian di sekolah, di dataran seni, di mana-mana. Sebab saya menteri, saya boleh arahkan banyak benda. Mewujudkan lebih banyak museum dan arkib yang menyimpan dokumen-dokumen adat resam. Okay, arkib normally keep documents, documentation. Museum simpan bahan-bahan dia, ya, like all the alat music, traditional dan sebagainya. Next, mempromosikan kebabaikan budaya dalam media sosial. Okay, nowadays you see media social very good. So Deepavali time they will put there, all the pictures and everything, how people celebrate Deepavali, Hari Raya, they do that. Okay, nampak tak? So kalau kamu tengok dekat sini memang banyaklah yang you boleh buat. Okay, so ini satu contoh. You understand? This is how they will ask that question. Now yang ini bahagian B. Okay, bahagian B dia akan bagi 2 essay, you pilih mana-mana dan jawab. Okay, so I'm going to give you one. Saya akan bagi kamu satu, tengok contoh yang saya buat. Contoh yang saya buat, ya, yang saya buat. Okay, now essay ni, ini aktiviti pindahkan rumah. Di kampung-kampung, they you know, sometimes they build a house with the tiang and all that. When the person want to shift, they shift together like that. Mereka angkat beramai-ramai. That means everything in the house together, angkat beramai-ramai. Very nice. I have seen this activity before. So you don't have to break down the house. Okay, memasak untuk majlis perkahwinan. This one gotong royong. Orang Melayu selalunya dia masak macam ini. Ramai-ramai pergi masak, tolong. Very nice. You love this. You love this activity. Okay, membersihkan pantai. This is gotong royong bersihkan pantai. Amalan gotong royong seperti di atas makin berkurangan. Definitely, because sekarang kita semua, everything kita panggil caterer siapkan. You know, we just go there, sit, makan and come back. But I have a few friends, especially my previous pengetua, they do this amalan gotong royong. You feel like you are there. Kepentingan amalan ini berdasarkan nilai universal. Okay, now for the time being, we are not so sure whether they are going to stick to this. Ini cadangan. Tengok tak saya tulis itu, cadangan sahaja. Okay, we do not know actually how many nilai they are accepting. But here I'm giving you, yang itu dia tak minta. Kalau dia minta nilai tapi you beri huraian langsung tak bagi nilai, maximum you'll get 9 marks definitely. because they said huraikan nilai. So you don't give nilai at all. So maximum you can get 9. If you give 9 huraian 1 nilai, you will get 10 marks. 8 huraian and you give 2 nilai, 10 marks. If you give 7 huraian, hopefully this one, 3 nilai, you still can get 10 marks. I'm not so sure about this. Okay, so kita tunggu dan lihat ya, contoh-contoh nanti akan di-share oleh lembaga peperiksaan. Okay, for that question, nilai yang saya cadangkan ialah kerjasama, bertanggungjawab, kerajinan, baik hati, rational. If you can find any other nilai, no problem. Maybe tolerancy also you can put. Okay. Now, contoh jawapan yang saya beri dekat sini. Okay. Contoh jawapan. Kepentingan. Remember the keyword is kepentingan. Importance. Number 1. See, when you give this, it's 1 plus 1. You huraikan, then you beri contoh, you will get. Okay. Wait. Okay. Right. Bila you huraikan, you beri contoh, you will get 2 marks. Just now nilai you get 3. Now you have to give how many? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not a lot, but write more. Mengeratkan hubungan sesama jiran. You saw just now gotong royong and all that. Kerana mereka berinteraksi bersama, saling mengenali. When you leave the house, you gotong royong, then you know, you're staying here, teacher. This is my taman. Okay, so you berinteraksi, you saling mengenali. The next time your teacher say, okay, ikut saya lah pergi sekolah. Okay, meringankan beban. Kerja cepat siap. Okay, everybody do the work, meringankan beban. So you huraiannya lah kerja siap cepat. Okay. Kerja siap cepat ke cepat siap? I think there's a mistake here. Mengurangkan kos membayar kontraktor. Okay, for example, you nak bayar kontraktor untuk bina rumah baru, very expensive. Atau you nak gotong royong, you are paying for the service. So, mahal untuk bayar kepakaran. So, yang ini memang murah lah sebab semua orang buat sama-sama. Okay, belajar kemahiran tersembunyi. Maybe you have some kemahiran. Okay, you have some kemahiran. At that time only you know. Wow, I also know how to mengukur because I learn mathematics maths so I help them to kira. Oh, memasak. Spelling mistake kan, memasak, mengira. Okay, maybe you learn how to build a window ke, how to cook rendang ke, you belajar kemahiran. Okay, menerapkan perasaan bangga dan self kepunyaan kendiri. We did it. Okay, we did it. Okay, this bunga telur, we all did it. Okay, you nampak tak? So you feel that self of belonging. Nilai bangga, you bangga dapat bercerita kepada anak cucu. Like now lah, I'm telling my children, oh last time we do like that, you are very proud to tell. Okay, membantu dengan sukarela bagi golongan yang memerlukan. Some people are poor, they don't have money. I do not know. Ulangan video, I do not know. You have to ask that to the Translife gang. Ask Airi or William. Okay, friend? Right. Membantu secara sukarela golongan asnaf miskin yang tak mampu. Okay, so ini also you help people. Belajar bertolak ansur, bekerja sama, berhemah tinggi. You learn how to give and take and all that. Okay, so ini adalah jawapan. You nampak saya dah bagi berapa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 kali 2, 12. 12 campur 3 nilai, you already have 15. Then got one more here. So it's very easy to score marks for this, but look at the next question. Okay. Yang ini dia bagi soalan C, dia bagi 2 esei. Setiap esei 20 markah. So you kena jawab semua. That means you are answering 2 esei with 2 jawapan times 2. That means 4. Kita tengok contoh dekat sini. Okay. Baik, contoh di sini. Isu yang sama. Isu di sini saya ambil perpaduan kaum. Just now you remember we have perpaduan kaum. Gambar menunjukkan perpaduan kaum dalam kalangan rakyat Malaysia. You see Melayu, India, Cina, etnik-etnik lain. They are holding all this. Malaysia merupakan negara yang terdiri daripada pelbagai kaum. Melayu, Cina, Iban, Kadazan dan sebagainya. Sorry, it's a bit long. But the question is here. Oleh itu perpaduan kaum amat penting untuk memastikan keharmonian hidup masyarakat majmuk. Pada masa yang sama, masyarakat majmuk dapat bekerjasama untuk memajukan negara dalam pelbagai bidang. Long, you read, you understand. Okay, jelaskan nilai-nilai universal. What is nilai-nilai universal? 18 nilai yang kamu belajar. Perlu diamalkan oleh setiap rakyat untuk memupuk perpaduan. Memupuk perpaduan, the keyword is cara. Okay, cara memupuk perpaduan based on nilai-nilai murni. Okay, let's go to the next one. Tengok dekat sini. That is the A question. Okay, look at the B question. Same issue. Maklumat berikut berkaitan dengan cabaran yang dihadapi dan usaha mewujudkan perpaduan kaum. Cabaran ini kita ada belajar ya. Kashwin, remember we said we have this cabaran untuk mewujudkan perpaduan. Nombor satu ialah politik perkauman. Okay, every persatuan they like MIC all Indians. Okay, MCA all Chinese. Okay, UMNO all Malay. Then we have Barisan Nasional last time. Cantum semua. Sabah Sarawak we have a lot of this politik perkauman ya. Jurang ekonomi yang besar antara kaum. Okey, di dasar ekonomi baru mewujudkan jurang yang lebih besar. They say sekarang ni kamu tengok yang tinggal di luar bandar semakin miskin, yang kaya semakin kaya, yang miskin semakin miskin. Dan tidak memahami cara hidup kaum lain. Bila orang Islam berpuasa, kita makan depan dia, kita tak faham. Kenapa tak boleh puasa? When Indians say, I'm vegetarian on Friday, vegetarian so you can eat fish This is a very, very stupid question to ask. You ask Airi lah. Airi, I'm sure you have a lot of issues when you say vegetarian. They will say, keep the chicken aside, just take the curry. Oh, I tell you, I'm only Friday, I'm vegetarian. Thank God for that. Okay, when you say you don't eat beef, orang Hindu tak boleh makan beef, they will tell, okay, I take the beef out and then you eat lah the rest. Okay. Another one is perbezaan budaya, culture. Okay. Kalau macam orang Melayu, dia kena tutup aurat. Orang India tutup sikit-sikit. Orang Cina mungkin tak ada isu lah. They want to wear shorts ke apa-apa. So ini yang menjadi cabaran. Jelaskan langkah-langkah yang perlu dilakukan oleh pihak kerajaan. Nampak tak? Pihak kerajaan. You jangan campur tangan. You bukan kerajaan. Untuk mengatasi cabaran yang menyukarkan perpaduan kaum dicapai. Okey, sekarang kita tengok jawapan untuk soalan pertama. Yang satu tadi satu is here. Satu is here, nilai-nilai universal untuk memupuk perpaduan. So jawapan di sini saya ambil hormat, kerjasama, tanggungjawab, patriotisme, rasional, kejujuran baik hati. You can put 3. So rujuk format yang saya berikan tadi, tengok jawapan dia di sini. Okey, cara memupuk perpaduan. Turun ke bawah, you can give 4 atau 5 cara dan huraian. So you can give up to 9 huraian. Number 1, kita perlu hidup berbaik-baik dengan semua orang because dia tanya bagaimana kita. So kita jangan pedulikan agama, bangsa, jantina. You friend with everybody. Don't say, you Chinese, I don't want to friend lah. You Hindu, I don't want to friend. Tak boleh. So ini you will get 2 marks. Elakkan mengungkit isu-isu sensitif. Okay, I remember we did this in class, Kashwin. So isu-isu sensitif banyak, you tak boleh sebut. You jangan cakap Cina kuih, tak boleh. Keling botol, you use words. Okay, agama, bahasa, use the word. Amalan keluarga, bila orang India botakkan kepala kerana kematian ibu atau bapa, you make fun botak chin, botak head. Okay, ini isu sensitif tak boleh. Libatkan diri dalam aktiviti perpaduan. Dekat sekolah ke, dekat mana-mana, you take part in all these activities. Okay, gotong royong ke, jamuan ke, sukan ke, don't be like sourpuss, don't want to campur dengan orang, lepas tu you talk bad about people. Yes, melibatkan diri dalam aktiviti hari kemerdekaan, all this memang boleh. Ini untuk perpaduan. Okay, luangkan masa bersama jiran tetangga. For example, when they have open house, you go. You also have got open house lah. Ini orang lain buat open house, hari-hari pergi makan, you tak pernah buat open house. I even asked my neighbor, hey Mrs. Lee, why you never do open house? I always invite you until one day she call me, she invite. Pun kalau you come, ini nilai universal macam mana tambah dengan ayat uraian. Okay, caranya you letakkan semua nilai di atas pun boleh. For example, kita perlu mengamalkan nilai kerja sama. So contohnya kita boleh melibatkan diri dalam aktiviti-aktiviti perpaduan seperti bergotong royong, itu pun satu cara. Okay, macam saya ajar pelajar saya letak nilai di atas, semua nilai di atas. All the nilai senaraikan di atas and then beri huraian. Tapi oleh kerana LPM belum lagi beri kita satu format yang tetap, for the time being kita gunakan format yang dulu punya silibus lama. Okay, so never mind. When I get the information, I will teach you. Okay, baik. Berkomunikasi dengan sopan santun. When we talk to others, jangan guna kata-kata kesat berunsur perkauman. And then bertolak ansur memahami keperluan jiran, kaum lain puasa, vegetarian and this. So saya sudah bagi skema ni, boleh baca dan tengok. Okay, boleh tengok macam mana you nak jawab. Now let's look at this second one. Okay, yang second essay. Jelaskan langkah-langkah yang dilakukan oleh pihak kerajaan untuk mengatasi cabaran. Okay, mengadakan sistem pendidikan yang sama untuk murid, tiada unsur perkauman. That means everybody go to standard 1, everybody study the same syllabus, same sukatan, so there's no issue. Sebab itu bila Zongdong yang Chinese punya, dia nak buka sekolah rendah, bertemakan yang Chinese punya dia tak benar kerana dari China. Di Kajang kita ada satu center dekat Jalan Bukit tu, SMK Jalan Bukit. They say cannot, you must use sistem pendidikan yang sama. They belajar rukun negara, they belajar the same thing. Tak boleh belajar ikut perkauman. Kemudian memberi hak yang sama rata kepada semua rakyat tanpa diskriminasi. Every rakyat boleh mengundi, boleh share harta kekayaan, mendapat pendidikan and all that. So jangan ada diskriminasi mengikut bangsa atau agama. Mengadakan program perpaduan. Tadi Kashfin ada tuliskan. Kevin, sambutan bulan kemerdekaan yang melibatkan semua kaum. Jangan kata, oh kita nak buat sambutan bulan kemerdekaan untuk orang Melayu saja. No such thing. Mengakhirkan kawasan perumahan dengan penduduk pelbagai kaum, bukan satu kaum saja. You know, housing area, they should not segregate. This row all Malay stay, this row all Chinese stay. They must mix. Bila mix, baru baru kerajaan boleh nampak perpaduan. Menggalakkan rakyat belajar bahasa pengantar yang sama seperti BM-BI. Like now lah. We can communicate with other races because we learn BM and BI. Okay, we can talk to Malays, we can talk to Chinese. Imagine if Indian talk Indian only, Chinese talk Chinese only, Malay talk Malay only, you cannot communicate. So rakyat boleh berkomunikasi dengan terbuka. Okay, nampak? Right. Okay. Dan dekat sini kita tengok ya, domain. Okay, sedikit tentang domain moral, we still have some time. Domain moral ialah, number one, you think. Berfikir tentang amalan-amalan moral. You think stealing, mencuri adalah salah. You tahu dekat otak you, you fikir mencuri itu salah. And then emosi. Emosi, you see for example, you rasa, you berfikir and then you emotional. If saya curi, orang itu tak ada duit, dia akan rasa sedih. And then perlakuan moral action ialah jangan mencuri. Nampak atau tidak? So ini adalah berkait. This is brain, this is heart, this is hand, action. Brain, you think. Emotional, you feel. Perlakuan moral, your action. Okay, I bring back here. You know, membunuh adalah salah. Membunuh binatang adalah salah. Kerana you kasihan dengan binatang, kita berperi kemanusiaan. So you tak membunuh binatang, you menolong binatang. So nampak tak? So you don't understand this, we'll be explaining later, don't worry. We'll go to the next one. Ini penting yang berkaitan dengan penakulan. Ingat tak saya cakap tadi? Penakulan ini murid berfikir sebelum bertindak. So dia berfikir dulu sebelum dia mengambil tindakan. We always have to think before we do something. Don't do first then only think. You jump into the river and then you say, this river can or not? I don't know how to swim. Itu tak boleh. Next one. Menganjurkan program pertukaran pelajar diterima untuk langkah mengatasi perselisihan faham antara kaum. Program pertukaran pelajar ni kalau dibuat di luar negara, mungkin antara pelajar di luar negara. Kalau di sini lokal, pertukaran pelajar sekolah ke sekolah, maybe boleh. Okay, maybe boleh. Right. Baik. Next, emosi moral. Motivasikan murid untuk membuat perlakuan moral, emotional, sedar, rasa peduli, nurani yang menyebabkan kita rasa gembira jika kita buat benda yang betul dan bersalah jika buat benda yang tidak betul. For example, you kick the dog. You feel so sad. You feel bersalah because you think it's wrong. Okay, you found money on the road, you take the money, then you feel guilty. Okay, when you derma wang kepada orang lain, you rasa, wow, I feel so good, I did something. Macam saya, I always give lift to people on the road. Kalau saya rasa susah, after giving lift, I feel very gembira because nurani saya rasa seronok. Okay, that is emosi. Now, perlakuan, action. Tindakan moral yang berkaitan dengan number one, you understanding of the values and your emotional. 3 domain moral ini bersama-sama diaplikasikan 18 nilai universal supaya you menjadi insan yang baik. So if you have all this, then you become a good human being. I'm sure all of you are good. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, right, yang ini. Not only India, I think in China also got this. Ramai pengemis yang mempunyai tubuh badan yang sehat tapi suka mengemis. It's not like our pasar malam. Sometimes we go to our pasar malam, these people got no leg, no hand, with a small baby. You also feel, for me, I don't believe in giving money for pengemis. I'd rather buy things for them and give because I do not know any syndicate behind it. Kalau you buy food or what, at least they can eat. Okay. So, cuba selesaikan dilema moral ini. Adakah you akan menderma atau you tidak menderma? Okay, tell me. Adakah you akan menderma bila you nampak pengemis yang sehat, badan dia sehat walafiat tapi dia mengemis? Okay, So I'm not sure, but I'm giving you base. Ingat tak tadi saya cakap prinsip? Kalau berdasarkan prinsip keadilan, you remember prinsip keadilan dan prinsip keprihatinan, the two nilai? Okay, saya tak beri sedekah. I say, apakah tindakan anda? Saya tak mau beri sedekah kerana berdasarkan prinsip keadilan, tak boleh beri sedekah kerana menggalakkan amalan ini. Pengemis semakin bertambah. Hari ini ada 2, lepas tu you tengok ada 10. Semakin ramai. My husband went to India and learned his lesson. Because in India, every row they have pengemis. Now you give here, they will come and stand again another row. Okay? Mengemis salah di sisi undang-undang. In any country, mengemis is wrong. Beri sedekah pun amalan yang salah. You cannot actually encourage beggars. Okay, dan prinsip ini menjejaskan imej negara. Sepatutnya mereka ni ditangkap. Okay, so you nampak tak? Ini alasan saya tak bagi derma. Tapi kalau saya gunakan prinsip keprihatinan. Okay, kalau saya ikut prinsip keprihatinan, saya beri sedekah. Why? Kerana saya kesihan dengan keadaan mereka. I feel pity for them. Okay, kita hidup senang, jadi bantulah orang yang susah. So this is another argument. Yang ini siapa? Tidak memberi wang kepada pengemis, boleh memberi nasihat kepada pengemis. Cuma memberi nasihat, they won't listen. But you can send them to Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. Call the Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat so the jabatan can help to give them work. Okay, you give nasihat, who will listen to nasihat? I think even if you people give nasihat also, kita pun malas nak dengar. Okay, dan memberi sedekah adalah diwajibkan dalam agama. Kashfin, remember we learn that in Hinduism we must derma. Not only Hinduism, Buddhism also, kita perlu berderma kepada orang yang memerlukan. Ya. Ini sebenarnya amalan asas dalam, oh my god, tangan sakit. Ini adalah amalan asas dalam semua agama, ya, to help people yang memerlukan. Okay, right. We are almost reaching the end, right. Okay, dilema moral. Okay, dilema moral memberi fokus kepada situasi yang menimbulkan dilema kepada seorang untuk membuat pilihan patut atau tidak patut dalam menyuarakan sesuatu isu. Saya sentuh sedikit, give me few minutes. Wajarkah kita menghantar ibu bapa yang uzur dan tua ke rumah rawatan warga tua? Ya, rumah rawatan warga tua, not rumah orang tua. This is a paid one. Sometimes we pay 1,000 to 2,000 ringgit. Okay? Kerana anggota keluarga bekerja dan tiada orang untuk menjaga. Ini adalah dilema. Okay? For me, rather than keeping an old person dekat rumah dan bahaya, might as well hantar ke rumah. So, tapi kita tengok jawapan dekat sini. Okay, baik. Kalau you kata wajar, okay, kalau you kata wajar, dua-dua jawapan diterima, jangan risau. Dilema, dua-dua jawapan diterima. Okay, lebih baik kerana ada orang menjaga 24/7. That means 24/7 there are people taking care of them. 24 hours, 7 days people are taking care of them. Tidak risau tentang keselamatan ibu bapa yang uzur, jatuh, cedera, pengsan. For example, my father was in my sister's place. My sister is working in a bank, so she never come back. My father went to the toilet and he fell down in the kitchen area 4 hours, until my sister come back. He was like that. He cannot get up because dia patah kaki dan tangan. So imagine this old man 4 hours kencing dekat situ, tidur dekat situ sampai adik saya balik. Lebih baik saya letakkan dia di rumah jagaan. Okay, di sini mereka boleh berinteraksi dengan warga yang seumur. They can meet their friend lah. Some of them get married also got. Ada aktiviti yang sesuai dengan umur mereka. Okay, their age people take care. They have their own activity, singing lah, listening to song, bhajan and all that. And they don't feel lonely. Tidak berasa keseorangan because their friends same age with them. Kualiti hidup lebih baik. People take care of them, jaga mereka, beri makanan, tukar, mandi dan sebagainya. Ini untuk yang wajar, ya. Ada kemudahan penjagaan, they have male nurses, take care of them, perubatan mereka dijaga, they can eat according to the time and everything. Ini untuk wajar, give you 8 points. Okay, tengok untuk tidak wajar, if you don't send. Many of you put there tidak wajar. Aboy, why is moral only one time a month? Awak pun tahu, you ask Airi. Okay, sorry Aboy. Right, you want to have more, you have to ask. Right, tidak wajar. Anak perlu jaga sendiri bagi membalas jasa ibu bapa. Okay, yes, I believe in that. I took care of my parents until they died. Okay, for me, if they can take care of 4 children, why can't 4 children take care of them? Okay, boleh dapatkan perkhidmatan pembantu rumah untuk jaga mereka ya. You can get like my house, I got a maid for 28 years. She not only take care of the house, she also took care of my dad. Why? Because ibu bapa akan rasa sedih dan terabai. Actually they don't feel happy when you send them to the home. Maybe some lah. But they will feel sad and they will think, I got 8 children, none of them taking care of me. Cucu pula tidak belajar menghormati kepentingan warga tua. They don't learn anything how to respect and all that. Ada kemungkinan didera oleh penjaga di rumah kebajikan. Ayo, I saw some videos, the way they torture the orang tua di rumah warga tua. Oh my God, pitiful. So you have to go and check all the time. Keluarga mengambil peluang untuk abaikan terus warga tua dengan tidak melawat langsung. Mula-mula pergilah lawat hujung minggu, lepas tu 1 bulan sekali, setahun sekali pun tak pergi melawat. Okay, so all language sikit-sikit lah. Alright, baik. Bagi soalan dilema moral, this is the last one. Jika jawapan betul atau salah, anda boleh justifikasikan alasan anda. Berdasarkan prinsip moral, keadilan dan keprihatinan, 3 domain moral, penaklukan, emosi, perlakuan. Remember, 3P, 2P and prinsip moral dan prinsip keprihatinan. I hope you understand this. We are doing things for 2. Number 1, because it's fair, we do it. Perhatian because you feel empathy, you do it. Empathy, sympathy, we will learn that. Okay, penaklukan, emosi dan perlakuan. This is my last slide. I managed to finish it exactly on time. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Okay or not? No response ma. Here got 59 but when my moral class budak sikit sangat. Okay, I hope to see you guys. Okay. Right, enjoyed, right, enjoy lah because I suka kutuk-kutuk kamu semua kan. Okay, thank you for giving this chance to me, Irie, William, for helping me. Okay, I'm very glad that I could share this, even though this is also new for me. Alright, so benda ni baru, saya pun belajar ya. Alright, okay, right, thank you.
Hello, Dewi.
Yes, Irie.
Yeah, let's thank teacher. Okay. Yeah, I'll take over from here. Teacher Kaladi. I'll lock you out. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Log already? Log out already?
Yes.
I can see.
Okay. Okay. So students, I know you have some questions on your. You have any questions or not? Like, regarding the moral lesson. I know some of you got some questions. I've prepared some slides to explain to you guys. Okay. Yep. Can you see this? Hey. Stop sharing. Wait. Should be able to see. No. Got handouts. Yeah. We are upload. Okay. Don't worry. We are upload. And let me share my slides. Okay, because I want to share with you this. Okay. Can you see? Yes. Okay. Yeah, you can ask any questions. Before I start the explanation. You have any questions? Or maybe I explain first also can. Okay. Yeah, you can type. I'll just I'll move over to the slide. You can type. I will come back to your questions. Account start. Yeah, account start at 8. Modern Max. Yeah, we are upload to YouTube everything for you guys lah. Okay. So let me make a quick one. Explanations on moral. Okay, moral one is only once per month. Okay, so it's 2 hours each. Form 1 is the first week. Form 4 is the 3rd week. Okay, so this is the time that we set. So and then the tuition is a little bit different. It's 30 ringgit. Okay, so if you are only like, because we got like 12 subjects, if you are taking only one subject, moral alone is 30 ringgit. But let's say you are taking, for example, you got physics, chemistry, bio, you want to add one more moral, then the situation will be like, okay, on top of the 270, you got a discount of 30 ringgit down to 240 because you got 80 ringgit per subject. Then the moral will be from 30 down to 25. So it's like minus 5 ringgit. Minus 5 ringgit. And then it's the same, like, for example, you take like 5 subject also. Moral, if you take on top of it, it's like minus 5 ringgit. So the fee is total 265. Okay. Yeah, so this is how it works. So yeah, the fee you know already lah. Basically, more than 5 subject is 70 ringgit per subject. Okay, automatically discounted. And wait, let me see. So far, I'll come back to your questions. Any questions? Why suddenly I have 20 ringgit? Because you already added, I think four subject. Because it's like for every one subject that you add on, you will enjoy another 5 ringgit discount. So that means you have 4, it's like -5, -5, 4 times of 5, so which is 20 ringgit. The 30 ringgit discount is for 1 month. Yes, correct, technically. May I end? Okay, why? Okay. So, yup. Yeah, understand? Understand now? So, may I know the account and add max, but I want to take both. Okay. Understand your questions. This is something that we try to adjust the timing for MX and account, but unfortunately, for the time being, it clash. Okay, they both classes clash. We'll try to do our best to see what else we can do for you. Worst come to the worst, you only can take one replay. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. We got so many classes going on. We're trying to squeeze the time for all of you. Yeah. And any minimum subject I have to take to enjoy the 30 ringgit discount for the time being. I'm not so sure. I have to check with my engineer. If I'm not wrong, I think there should be a how to say, a minimum order, because if like this, then technically it's free for Pendidikan Moral, right? So I'll ask my technical team. I think I told him before. Today got lucky draw. Yeah, one more for those who are attending this accounts later. All subject in English or Malay. Basically it's a mixture. So actually you can just learn 10 lessons, and if you really have questions in either Malay or in English, you ask the teacher on the spot. Okay, so the teacher will be more than willing to explain to you in either the languages that you are comfortable with. Even got some Chinese students also asking in Chinese as well. The teachers, if he or she knows the answer in Chinese, he will also explain. Okay, so there will be still a major language that they will use. Mainly is English, but sometimes they will mix both English and Malay. Does tuition fee include? Oh no, everything is soft copy. Yeah, so whatever that we do is everything online. You download, and we recommend you don't print out lah. If you really need to print out, you print out. Okay, but we will provide a soft copy to you. Okay, because you can always refer back to our portal for the online. Okay, lucky draw. Yeah, it's like I'll give another 100 ringgit to your TransLife wallet for those who are active, positive, participating in today's sessions. Okay. 30 ringgit discount applicable only for 1 month. So it's for this month, December. So the coupon is only valid until 9th of December, which is on Wednesday. Okay. So after Wednesday, the coupon will be burned. Okay. So don't miss it. What's the price? 100. Chinese lesson for Form 5 is on Sunday morning, but some states. Yeah, the Chinese lesson, I actually talked to. I tried to talk to teacher Brian, and then apparently he's so busy that he has these two. Let me see. Let me see if we can further adjust our lecture. Okay, for the time being, that's the only two options. I'll talk to him again on this. Okay, so I know some of you really want to learn from teacher Brian, right? Wow. All right, agree, Alexis. End of yes, after account class, I'll do just a short wrap up of everything that we have covered in these 2 days, and recap everything that you need to know about our classes. Yeah. will we get discount for buying books as an existing Translite subscriber? Yes, we are working on it. So I promise that for all the Translite subscriber would get a special discount for sure, so that you all will enjoy a cheaper purchase on our store than the normal bookstore. That's for sure. Yeah. December online or live class or live class? Basically, for Translite, everything is online classes. We always do live streaming like this. This is a portal where you're going to attend every single classes, because our teachers coming from all around Malaysia, we can't have any physical class because they are coming from everywhere. If we are going to do the physical class, some students from Sabah Sarawak won't be able to attend. So we will continue doing online classes even after CMCO, okay? That means MCO, CMCO, whatever MCO, we'll still continue doing online classes, okay? So next month got promotion. Promotion, in a way, is already, you're having promotion because the 5 ringgit is ongoing thing. So as long as you are subscribing to a lot of subjects, you're enjoying that. And then from time to time, we organize workshops, seminars, free one for all of you. For those who subscribe, I'll add on as many workshops and seminars possible for you guys. I don't know how to say how you guys really are interested in learning from some of the successful people. I'm bringing in a lot of successful people as well to come on board and share with you guys. I'll be bringing some TV hosts. Like, I don't know, you know about Goh Wee Ping, the famous Channel 8 TV host. I'll be bringing some film director, like the girl from New York, 来自纽约的你. So all these people, the famous people, I'll be bringing on board to give all these kind of free seminars to you guys as well. So I'll be bringing some experts as well to come on board and do a lot of free seminars that outside you need to pay a few thousands just to attend the lessons, or maybe few hundreds. So these are the people that we'll be working with to come on board and share with you their expertise, and hope that you guys one day after you graduate, you get to be another successful person. Yeah. Calculator has discount or not? Yes, Calculator will have discount for sure, because we are doing that with the supplier, which is Casio. So we'll get the best price for you. So I probably bought a class and add on in a class. I don't have the discount. Technically, the discount, yeah, if you bought, like, for example, 3 lessons for last, okay, let's say last week you bought already 3 lessons, okay, 3 subjects. Now you want to add 1 more. Unfortunately, for that 1 more, this month, you can't do anything because we also cannot change. So you have to pay that 1 month first, but next month, you will be automatically recalculated. You get the best, that means the lowest price for 4 subjects, which is, I think 75, right? Yeah, 75 times 4. So technically, first month, if you want to buy the subjects, buy as many as possible, rather than wait until next month. Yeah. Then buy sekaligus lah, one shot. If I join this month, can I watch the previous month? This month, there's no classes for previous month, and but for some, for example, Form 5, okay? Yeah, some of you are going to be Form 5 next year. The lessons that your friends have attended last month or last month, we will still put online, yeah? They still put in our portal, but you have to buy it, okay? You have to pay that means that you have to pay the money to buy the previous lessons, because that is how the system works. So it's not like you come in this month, you get to watch all the last month's, previous month's replay, because it's not fair to those who pay for the money. So in the website itself, you'll be able to see unlock button where you can unlock all your content for last month. Okay. So what is memory class? Oh, it's by Mr. Lim Teck Ho. So the when is the date, because he's a super busy man. He's the like special officer to very important person in Malaysia. So he used to coach ex-Prime Minister of Malaysia like Dr. Mahathir, Abdullah, you know, all these famous people. So he's super busy. I'm trying to get one date for him to come on board and teach you guys. Okay, for those who want it, yeah. So this is for those who claim your book. For this memory masterclass, is only for those who bought your book. Those who didn't buy your book, you will not get the memory masterclass. Yeah, either you buy book or you don't get it, or you pay the full amount, which is 800 ringgit. How about 1 month trial class? No, our trial classes is all one session, because it is just actually one session. You know how good the teacher is. We don't have to give you one month, because to be fair to other people who are paying to attend it, it's every time it's 1 week. Okay, so how can we know we got the 3 hours? Oh, we announced. No worry. Announce in a way that we will WhatsApp you, email you, or SMS you. Yeah, you will get it in a way. So just remember, don't unsubscribe any Translive emails or WhatsApp, whatever lah. If you unsubscribe, or even our chatbot, if you unsubscribe, unfortunately, if we send you, you don't get it, and you don't come and complain to us like, hey, I didn't get the notifications. Actually, when you check back, you already got the email, you already got the WhatsApp. Okay, I know a lot of you tend to like unsubscribe because it's so too annoying getting too many emails and WhatsApp. But we got no choice, but because we want to inform you. For So Smart first month, oh yeah, that's correct. First month you have to pay the normal price if you want to top up, no choice. But the rest will be discounted for whole year. Okay. So how much is the video? It follow back lah. Let's say for example you are paying like 90 ringgit for this month, so it will be the same thing like for last month. Okay. Can you calculate it per month? Yes. Moral payment is 30 ringgit. That means if you are buying more than one subject, buying the one, let me change the slides. Okay, change the slide. Okay. Okay, so like this, right? For example, 3 subjects is 240. I'm saying that if you buy 4 subjects, which is 3 normal subjects plus 1 moral, then the calculation is 265, because your moral will enjoy 5 ringgit discount. Okay, you get the idea? Do we still have the 5 ringgit discount? Yes, the 5 ringgit discount you still be enjoying if you are getting more than 1 subject. Yeah, like this case, next month is still 265. So every month you'll be 265, 265, 265. So let's say you add 2 more subjects after that. So instead of paying this, it will be adjusted to total of 6 subjects. So it's like we'll make sure that you get the cheapest tuition fee for next month. Do we still have, okay, the replay video for 3 months won't be for last 3 months. Okay, for the revision classes, those that already, are using our existing portal, that means the old portal, the replay video won't be deleted. We'll find a way to see how we can shift from the old website to the new website. Okay, for those who are moving on with our new website, also continuing with us this year lah. Okay. Not understand about free memory class. I will send you 4 hours of recorded video that is to prepare you on the techniques. That means what are the tricks that you need to learn upfront. Because the actual 2 hours will be on the application, like how you can use the technique for sejarah, how you can use the technique for moral. Yeah, so this is the actual things that help you to boost your memory by 300% easily, 300% better memory skill. Hi, Mr. Harry, video in old portal will be, oh yeah, I answered already. Could you explain again? Can I change the subject I purchase? Okay, once you purchase, okay, the thing is, once you purchase a subject, right, you already see the content in a way, so which is not fair for us to do, because the teachers will say, how come the students purchase, seen all my teaching, and but now you are changing the subject. The teacher will for sure complain to me like, hey, how do you justify whether the students already watch it or not? Yeah. So when you purchase, you have to be careful, okay? Be careful. Technically, we can ask our engineer to do so, but don't purchase the wrong subjects, okay? Don't purchase and if you want to change, you can change it next month, okay? Because you can cancel a subscription and you can renew for next month. How long the tuition class replace will be there? It will be until you take your exams. For example, you are next year Form 4. Once you start the tuition with us, the replay video will be forever there until you take your SPM exams. You get the meaning? Yeah, so that means it's like 2 years, okay? You will never see any tuition classes doing this thing for you, okay? Only here in Translate Education. We'll do a proper recording so that you can do the full revision anytime before your exam, okay? So Form 5, I'm taking Form 4. When I get, yes, if you are taking, no, regardless, even you want to take Form 1 also can. No problem, okay? If you want to take Form 1 also can. Form 1, Form 4, okay. Form 4, Form 5, okay. So as long as your time, you can manage your time, you're allowed to attend Form 4 and Form 5 together. This is the beauty of our classes. You really can take 2 forms together. Yeah. So for those who are going for Form 5 next year, my recommendation is that if you can afford, and you really didn't study well for your Form 4 because of CMCO, right? Then you have then I recommend you to take both. Is honestly speaking, I encourage you to do so if financially you can support. So if you cannot support, then you can also refer more friends. Then see from the referral, the commissions that you get, then you can attend for more classes. Okay. So I'm Form 4, but okay. I need to register. No. Once you register, it's automatically registered. So every 21st of each month, we'll charge your TransLife wallet. It's just like the TransLife wallet, you need to make sure you have money inside your TransLife wallet on 21st. You get the meaning? So if 21st fail to charge, right, then you'll see a warning there, a warning. Yeah. So we'll charge you second time. So if the second still cannot go through, then later on, the third time, when we charge, I think on 28 midnight, we charge again. And if the money doesn't go through, then your account will be inactive for that subject. Okay. So, okay. Now, can sign for tuition. How to get the notes? This is online. This is online classes. You can sign up for. Our tuition. Not an issue. Okay. You can sign up for our tuition anytime. Because it's online. So outside of chaos, you also can take. So all the notes will be online, soft copy. Okay, can? Everything will be soft copy. So the notes will be in, yeah, correct. Okay, thank you so much, Sebastian. I only purchased 4 subjects. I want to register for another. Can I do it next month? Yes. If you already buy 4 subjects, you want to add on next month, also can. You want to add on this month, also can. Okay, you can just add on. So how to process? Oh, you just have to make sure you add on another one. Yeah, you add on another one. But just remember that, for example, 4 this month, 4 next month, right? The thing is, when you add on, you purchase 1 more subject, right? It will be 90. Yeah, just to let you know, it will be 90 because there's that you cannot like add on that 4 then together, because the 4 is already on subscription, so it will be like on top of that. But the next month, then will be 5 subjects. We will calculate it for the cheapest rate for you. How to process? Okay, if you want to change subject, then you have to press cancel. There's a cancel button. Yeah. Inside your classroom, we have a classroom like your class content. So you cancel it. Then that's it. Then you have to purchase a new one. So can I watch replay for MX and Max trial? Yes, it's It's already in. Wait, let me see. No, I haven't updated. I'll update in the link for you. So in the link itself, on the handouts link that you got just now. So inside there, I'll add on the MXMS because I haven't edited that. Okay. So when can we know we get? Oh, after this, I think Wednesday. After Wednesday, when we close the coupon and everything, then we'll announce. Don't worry. Okay. Will we get today's handout? All the handouts that we have, we will upload to the folder that you get. Okay. Okay, thanks. If I buy now but class on dashboard, what should I do? Will you all inform? Okay, if you buy now but the classes start on January, right? You just have to log back to your account, and you will see your class there already. You understand? So you can get your updates. You have to keep on logging back to your website lah. You don't like forget your email that you use, your account. Don't do that lah. Okay, we try to remember it. Okay. So yeah. So this one I took AdMax and Amazon. I want to add on AdMax and Sejarah, so I need to cancel. And then okay. Technically yes. If you cancel, then you resubscribe next month. It will be cheaper. Yes. Because system is software, is IT, so there's a limitation to it lah. Okay, to be honest. So we'll improve on the system further. But technically, if you want to you want to change your subscription and everything, you can stop it. Then you purchase the full set for next month. Correct. Okay. Any more questions? Like what else you want to ask? About referral also okay. Anything like you can ask anything. No, thank you. Okay. So the account sessions will start at 8. So if you still have any questions, just contact our WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is the new WhatsApp number. I think you can find it online. How to use Transfer Wallet to make payment? Okay. Actually, when you select your classes, you can watch the tutorial lah. Because we already put the tutorial for you. After you purchase the classes, when you check out, you have to use Transfer Wallet. That's the only one. That's the only way. Okay. So the money that you make, the money that you earn, will also be directly credited to your Transfer Wallet. So if let's say I introduce my friend, your friend just sign up for our tuition class, pay for 300 ringgit. Directly after they pay 300, you will see 30 ringgit will be added to your Transfer Wallet. If I want to top up class with discount, do I have to cancel? Yeah. Like just now someone asked already. You can cancel it. Yes, you can cancel the subscription. Then you make sure next month, first of the month. No, you're going to wait first of the month. You can already purchase one as soon as you cancel. Then you repurchase. You repurchase for the upcoming months. Then you remember to add on all the classes. Okay. Anyone got any more questions? Like how to operate, how to sign up, how to any question also can ask me. Your best opportunity to ask, because most of the time I'm not handling the call, I'm not handling the answering. It'll be my team handling. Can I do cancel? Yeah, cancel at the end of the month. For example, 28, right? 28, you can cancel, and then on 28 itself, you quickly purchase for next month. Yeah. Because every 21st of the month, we will charge your credit Transfer Wallet. Transfer Wallet, no money, then your status will change to warning. Okay. Any more questions? Like Any questions also can. Sebastian typing, Paul typing. If I pay for January this month, how about the payment for the following months? If you pay for January, your class will start in January. Then on 21st of January, it will be, you will get another request for February. Okay, so yeah, it's quite straightforward. Even if you have a mixture, one is December, one is January. So the one you purchase December, straight away you can see the whole December content. Then that subject for January, once it's 1st of January, you will be able to see the content. How about last month? Last month, okay. For those who took our revision class for Form 4, in the old portal, you can keep it lah. You can just watch anytime you want. Don't worry, we are not doing any changes to that. But 21st they charge already, then 28 do cancellation. We do refund. Oh, so sorry. Yeah, 21st we will charge. But the thing is, if you have no money inside a wallet, we cannot charge. Transfer wallet is you need to either pay by bank transfer, credit card, or e-wallet. Yeah. And only you will see your transfer wallet got money. So no money, we can't charge. Yeah. So technically, if you want to do a cancellation, then you can do it on 21st, no problem. Yep. If you have a button only for registered classes, actually you can ask on the spot. The teachers, they will answer to you directly. You don't have to purposely do the Q&A button. Yeah. Because sometimes the teachers might overlook because it's a separate function, and then if the teachers knows how to use a Q&A button, then he or she will use it lah. But until today, most of the time when you ask questions, you just ask directly in the chat box. If you do cancellation, have a yes, you will have. Don't worry. Once you pay for the month, it's full month. No matter you cancel or don't cancel, you will still have the access. Okay? You will still have the access. Okay, but I can pretty sure that all the teachers here are the best in the market. That's for sure. So even you go to normal classes, you can't really get such a good teachers. If we have balance in wallet, if you have balance in wallet, you charge lor. Yeah, because it's automatic thing. The system will charge automatically. Okay. Ken? What else? Seems like still got a few questions coming up. For those who want to take a rest, 8 p.m. we'll start the account, and 9:30 I'll do a wrap up. I'll do another round of wrap up just to summarize the whole thing, probably to go through with some of people that didn't attend moral sessions. And yeah, so if you need to leave this room, no problem. Thank you. Can I have latest Form 4 time schedule by you? The time schedule, I think you already got it in your email, if I'm not wrong. For everyone who sign up for trial or even anything, we have the latest timetable sent to you, right? Or you can just go to our website. It's stated there. Just go to Facebook or you go to transfer.com.my. The latest time schedule is there. Yeah, or you can search for the individual courses. Yeah, you just click and find your right form and all that lah. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Any questions? Hope that you're all clear. Thank you very much. Really the best. Oh yeah. So for the OKU and Orphanage Translife is giving free education lifetime, anytime, any courses. All the expensive courses also will be free. Those that people usually need to pay thousands and thousands will also be free for OKU and also Orphanage. Okay. Hello, can you guys how to pay the tuition fee on the very end of the month on how to renew? Okay, let me see. How maybe we can just do. We will try to work on this lah. Okay, I think it's a very good questions that we need to address. I'll just pass to my team and let them know. Mr. Ari, about when can buy calculator? Okay, I will get back to you on around next week. Okay, I'll get the final price for you guys, and we are selling the genuine one. The one very cheap that you see on Shopee. How come it's like 50 or 60? I can tell you, for sure it's not genuine. I've asked Casio, personally about the cheapest that they can go. It's not. It's like it cannot be like it's cheaper than the original price, you know, and the cost price. So you guys don't go for the cheap one. Later you don't buy. You don't get the. You get a fake one, then you waste your money. Okay. If I don't take moral and sure subjecting price, if you get 3 subject, that means it's 80 per subject. Then it's 240 lah. If I don't take. Yeah, 240, correct. This is just to illustrate to you if you are taking moral on top of the 3 regular subjects when you do one single checkout. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? Any more questions? Nowadays I'm too busy with operations and managing the company, so I don't have this luxury time to talk to students like this. So you guys are quite lucky to have me talking to you, answering your questions one by one. If you have any questions, you can ask me. And other than that, then if not, then we'll call it off. Then we'll come back at 8 p.m. Yep. Then sure. So hope that you guys make use of the opportunity to introduce your friends, introduce parents. Even your parents also can join and introduce their other parents' friends or other parents' children. Your father and mother also see their money in their Translife wallet as well. Okay. Okay, thank you. If not, then I'll see you guys at 8 if you are taking accounts, okay? Or maybe at 9:30. If not taking, no need join. What do you mean? What do you mean by if not taking? No need join. Like, what are you trying to say? If no need, oh no. It's just that 8 to 9:30 is account. Then 9:30 I'll do a short, something like Q&A and just probably go through again, like some of the details using the slides and announce the lucky winner. Okay, sure, can. How many? Just one, this one. Already give out a lot of free stuff lah, you guys. So many workshops, you know, and you know, it costs us a lot of money to organize this workshop. It's very, you know, you have to pay teacher to conduct workshops on, you know. It's not cheap, eh? It's not like free stuff. You guys are getting free, but we are not but we have to pay money on, you know. You all thought that everything is free. Peak meeting need to pay money. Like this one, every month, few thousand. And the teacher, many thousands. So many, everything need to pay. Website need to pay few thousand. Yeah, the cost is higher than your tuition center. Okay.